training back at home with minimal equipment is pretty hard. So today I'm just filming my current pull workout during lockdown with quite minimal equipment, although I do have probably a little bit more than the average person. But hopefully you can take something away from this video and improve upon your current pull or back workout. So I'm actually starting this pull session at a park, which I know isn't at home, but I'm only doing one exercise at the park, and I'll explain exactly why I'm here in a second. First of all, apologies if the lighting isn't great. It's getting quite dark. It's like 4:30 in the UK, and in about half an hour's time it's gonna be like pitch black. First exercise I'm gonna do is the pull-up. That's the reason I've came to the park, because it's getting dark and I've got like 3 sets to get in. I'm gonna quickly do my sets now, and then I'll talk about why I do the pull-up. When you're doing pull-ups, I'd always advise using straps. Like, you want to reach muscular failure from your back and not your forearm. So yeah, use straps. I know I said I was going to talk to you about the pull-up after I've done the pull-ups, but when I'm resting in between sets, it just makes sense to talk about it now. With any back or pull workout, you want to do a vertical pulling motion and a horizontal pulling motion. So the pull-up is the vertical pulling motion. And in my opinion, especially during lockdown, the pull-up is going to be the go-to exercise. All you need is something to hold on to, whether it's some kind of bar like this, or whether it's like a tree branch, you know, literally anything you can grab hold of. The only alternative I think you can use during lockdown for a pull-up is using bands. I think the pull-up is just gonna be way more superior because you can actually apply progressive overload. The problem you got with bands, like depending on where you grip the band, is gonna be dependent on how difficult the exercise is gonna be. So it's kind of hard to account for if you're progressing with your trainer or not. Whereas pull-ups, it's a lot easier to know whether you're progressing, because if you're increasing your reps per set, you're getting stronger, you're making gains. So that's the lats now pretty warm, and now the next thing what we're gonna do is hit the bent over row to target more upper back. So the main thing I'm thinking about when I'm doing this exercise is thinking about where my elbows are in relation to my torso. So when I'm going through the movement, the barbell is actually going to hit me somewhere around the sternum area, whereas if I was trying to target the lats, I'd probably go for a supinated grip and bring the barbell more towards just under the belly button. So if you're thinking upper back, go with a pronated grip, I think elbows high and wide, drive up, and that's going to hit more traps, rhomboids, rear delt, that kind of thing. Whereas if you go supinated and you think about bringing the barbell into like just below your belly button, that's going to be more lat focus. I'd say the biggest mistake to avoid when doing this exercise is you got to think about where your elbow is going. So you see a lot of people rowing like this. So there's a lot of elbow flexion going on, meaning it's just working the bicep. Whereas when you see me do it, you see my shoulder get a good stretch there, and my elbow moves back towards my hips. That's really going to engage that lat. Next exercise, moving on to rear delt. So you will not need much weight at all with this. So I'm using 5 kilos. I'm going to use a rep range of around 15 to 20. So I think rear delts actually respond better to higher rep sets. I feel like the main mistake people make when they're doing a rear delt fly is that they engage too much traps, because they do a rear delt and they retract the scapula like that, and it engages too much traps. So what you want to do is have your shoulders protracted and keep them protracted through the whole range of motion. Right, next thing we're targeting is the upper traps. There's no better exercise than the dumbbell shrug. The main thing you've got to focus on there is literally just elevation, bringing your shoulders up. Now to finish on like every bro's favourite muscle group, the old biceps. So that's what we're doing now. I'm just going to do 3 sets of barbell bicep curls, just 30 kilos on the bar, just keeping form quite strict. Try to keep my elbow tight there, not allowing kind of much shoulder flexion to go on, because I'm trying to isolate the bicep. You can argue that shoulder flexion is actually a function of the bicep, but I'm really trying to just isolate the bicep and not use any momentum, so I'm keeping it really strict. Then after the barbell curls, I'm going to conclude the workout with some hammer curls. Just do 1 set, but a rest pause set, just so that I'm hitting both heads of the bicep. That is the session complete. I'm pretty cooked. Hopefully you enjoyed watching it. What I do want to say before I wrap things up is that I am acknowledging the fact that probably a lot of you people watching this don't have the equipment that I have access to. So I am uploading a new video soon of how you can make exercises harder when, say, you only have 5-10 kilogram dumbbells. There's ways around it. It's certainly not optimal, but you can make progress with it, especially if you're a beginner. And even intermediates can make some kind of progress from that style of training. So that's coming soon. Keep an eye out for that. Until then, remember to like this video, subscribe to the channel. See you later.